mystery and horror, the air itself is filled with monsters.
Children of the night, what music they make. He's alive! He's alive!
Well, hello, all you monster fiends, and thank you for joining us for another deep dive, factoid-filled episode exploring Hollywood's most famous monsters. I am your mistress of ceremonies, Sam. Oh, that sounded too sweet. And I am joined, as always, by Dan from Bleading Marvelous. Say hello, Dan.
Hiya.
Yeah?
What? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm delirious. I'm living off the back of some serious hardcore drugs today because of the migraines. So you're in for a ride, people. You're in for a ride.
You're in for a treat. Well, hi everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Monsters of North podcast and our last of 2025.
Boo! Yay! Boo!
Cue the sad music. Why did the Hulk come to my head there? Oh, crikey. Yep, this is the last episode of the year. Past last episodes, we've done something Christmassy, but not this year.
No, because frankly, horror movies at Christmas are very poor. I mean, you have the odd good ones, like we had Krampus, which was fun. We did Violent Night, which I loved. We also did Black Christmas, which of course you have to do. Yeah. There's a few more like Silent Night, Deadly Night we could do, and we might be saving them for next year. But right now we thought, no,
because this year for horror is possibly been one of the most interesting years of late. Long time.
What's the meme? It's been 84 years.
And I've actually managed to keep up with them. That's a feat in itself. So I am going to do the disclaimer and we are going to unravel 2025. Sure. Everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and it's our opinions alone. And if you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on our socials. Or you can join us in the comment section where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and tell us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behaviour out of a nerdism.
Yes, I had nearly forgotten what I was going to say then. Don't be a dick. Thank you.
Do you know what else is still really bothering us from last week? A dent in my microphone. I can see it out the corner of my eye. Right, 2025. So we have a list of the movies of 2025, but what we also wanted to do is just go through our year of 2025, because it's been a fucking crazy year.
Yeah, you guys have been subjected to a hell of a lot of episodes this year.
Yes. Dan, do you normally know how many we've done in a year? Because we have, unlike the year before, we've had more breaks this year than we had the first and second in season.
Yes, because usually what we tend to do is to it won't let me in to look at it now, will it? No.
No, but
I think we've done 42 or 43 episodes this year.
That sounds about right, because there was 1 month at the beginning of the year when I was really poorly and I couldn't do it. And I think that was meant to be the Late Night with the Devil episode, and that got pushed to the following week.
Yeah.
We had another break somewhere else and another break towards the end.
And then we've got these 4 weeks as well. So
yes,
you know, to be honest with you, I don't think that's a bad achievement. I've got to be honest.
No,
I think that's a hell of a lot of episodes to come out of 2 people who work full time and then also have other commitments on top of stuff. So, you know, yeah. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because we people don't know how much research goes into one of these like episodes. So you've got to think it's like you have a full-time job, you come home, you do all your boring house stuffs and you're making your foods and stuffs, and then you've got to watch the film, then you've got to do your research, so you go onto your YouTube videos, then you've got to go onto the internet and do all that, and like that, it's not just a one evening thing really when you're
No.
researching an episode. And bear in mind, Sammy does 3 of
Let's
these
do 3.
and I only do the one. And when we look at it from that point of view, this poor woman this is her full-time job, and her other job is
It just pays the bills.
yeah.
And to be honest, I do that part-time too. I do this part-time and that part-time. So the kind of work is one really. Yeah, I do 3, and that's 3 lots of research because I can't. There's some films I can get away with, like especially on the Nerdy Up North podcast. If we just watch this, I can get away with just watching it and going, right, I can base this purely on feeling.
Yeah.
But but maybe me, I have to instantly after a film, and I don't know, I've been conditioned like this for years, I have to go on IMDb and I have to go at the trivia and I have to know things. And then when I start knowing things about it, I'm like, shit, that makes it so interesting. Oh, okay, I've got to mention this in the podcast. And then I just start, like, it just fucking unravels. And yeah, that's how my notes start. Not for monsters though. Monsters, I have kind of a clear picture of what I want to talk about after I've watched it, or if I know the movie that we're doing and I'm like, right, okay, I want to, like for Frankenstein, for example, I knew exactly what I wanted to cover on that.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, of those 40 something episodes, we have had the best year for views alone, let alone, I don't know on audio, but I know full well this has been our biggest year so far on the YouTubes, as the kids are calling it. That we, in total, since we've been going live, we have been lucky enough, and to some this might not be a lot, to others this might be a huge amount, but to us it's immense. To me, we've had over 18,500 views on our videos alone since we've started. I mean, why are you watching it? What on earth do you want to look at this for? and
it's your southern drawl and my northern tones.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's ultimate. As Malika would say. It's all I hear her say all the time. Ultimate. She always pronounced the t on the T.
Malika's getting our own little spot on our show as well.
Malika Moments with Dan and Sam. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I will never understand what's going on, because I do this, and Sam, I know Sammy does, but for the love. I love looking into movies. I love watching movies. I love talking about movies. So this kind of just combines everything for me.
Yeah.
And if people listen, great.
Yeah.
Why? But great. I'm still in that weird lane of like I find it peculiar that people want to listen, not because we don't talk of anything that's not, because what we do talk about is really informative, and we got a lot of compliments on the last episode. So thank you very much to everybody that listened to the Frankenstein episode and stuck with the 2.5 hours, because
thank you.
Oh, you got some willpower there, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely insane the response we've had off of that. Also, the last couple have just done so well.
So well. I can't even wrap my head around the people who are listening and commenting and getting in touch, because to me, I'm just recording this for my Kel. And that's it.
For me, it's Sam Munster, Sarah.
Sam Munster, yes. Oh my God, Sam Munster. Bless her heart.
Who else?
The whole film thing. It was me. It's me. She put a comment on going, "It's you numpty who's saying it."
But most
stop trying to pass the book.
I put a W in there, didn't I? Film.
And no, it's me. Film. Oh, I can't. Me and Dan tried to give us a lesson on how to say it properly, and it still comes out the way that it does.
Never try and say it my way. Film sounds right coming out of your mouth.
So the support and love we've gotten from Zara, Sam Munster, and so many others is just been absolutely crazy, and we love it. And it's
thank you. I mean, really, even like just a little comment under an episode, like I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Devil's Little Sister, because I've seen her comment quite a lot, and I'd just like to say thank you, because we are just 2 random strangers on the internet. And it's nice when you see people consistently engaging and you're getting to know the handles, and it kind of then makes you feel like, oh, okay, these people are
Yeah.
tuning in more than once. It's not just a fluke episode. People are like
Yeah.
paying attention to what we're doing. So
And
you'd be crazy, the lot of you. And I ain't
no,
paying you. So if you're looking for
no.
a monetary incentive, you're not going to get it here.
And I'm just forever and always grateful to Mike Kell, just because of his running commentary on every episode. I love him. He's great. I mean, there's so many people to thank for everything. Like from Paul, who does the graphics for it, obviously helping getting things uploaded. He's been a huge help. Obviously, huge help. Just yeah, there's so many thank yous. But when it comes to our episodes this year, they've been, I don't want to say they're being different because I feel like they're exactly like I don't look at each year and go, oh well, that was different from that year to this year. We did introduce the cursed movies this year, which
Mm-hmm.
did really well. The
Yeah.
Crow episode did really, really well.
Well, I was just going to say our most viewed videos on YouTube are at number 3, The Howling, which was only 2 weeks ago, and it is one of our most viewed episodes. Number 2 was The Crow,
I love that episode.
and number 1, which will always go down in the what the
The
actual fuck is happening episode,
mm-hmm.
was the Slay episode with the lovely Kira and Jimmy. And to this day, I can't work out why Kira, who has got one of the Chucky documentary to even start with. So if you haven't seen it, go watch
Oh,
it.
it's so good.
Also, you all know and love her father, Tony. Tony has done so many things in the special effects world, especially Mr. Tarman himself, and well, technically half Corpse Girl, but you know, and also he's responsible for that fella over there as well, from Bride of Chucky onwards. Then you've got Jimmy, who, if you don't know who Jimmy Simpson is, why?
Jimmy Simpson, like you don't realize how much he's been in. We were watching How I Met Your Mother. He's in that. He just appears, and it's pure McPoyle taken to a whole different level.
Now he's in The Walking Dead. He's been doing he did Haunted Hotel. I can't remember if that's what the cartoon.
I can't remember. I've not watched it as yet, but
I really liked it. I really liked it.
I heard it was fun.
It is really fun, and I do like his character. He is a Victorian ghost trapped in the house, which makes me laugh. I think he's ripped off our idea. Jimmy, if you're listening, restitutions, please. Thank you.
It takes a while to look this Victorian and dead.
He's got black hair as well, his ghost, and
Oh
he's
my
very pale.
God.
Yeah, and Jimmy is obviously McPoyle. He's been in my favorite episode of Black Mirror, which is the SS Callister. You know, Jimmy's been in everything. So that was the most insane.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Insane experience, and
I'll tell you how it all came about if you want, because it was a fun story. Gosh, I can't think of what her name is from Dead Cats. Katie, so sorry, Katie. But Katie from Dead Cats literally sent me a post that Kira had put up on her Instagram saying that she was trying to promote her movie and would any podcasters like to get in touch. And she just sent us it out the blue, and I was like, okay. I'm down for this. I generally didn't know who Kira Gardner was. I didn't put 2 and 2 together that Tony Gardner was her dad. And then when I looked at her face, I was like, oh my gosh, didn't you do the Chucky documentary like a few years ago? So I sent her a message and thought nothing of it. I did the whole introduction. Hi, I'm Sam, and I do this podcast with another girl called Dan, and we're, female horror, blah, blah, blah. And I thought nothing of it. Come one Tuesday morning.
It was a Tuesday morning. Don't ask me why I know that.
It was because it was my day off. So it was a Tuesday morning. It was 4:00 in the morning. I was up because my arsehole of a cat woke me up. And the first thing I did was go and check my messages. And lo and behold, there is a absolutely yes, let's get together. I've got this date free, and Jimmy will be free on this date. And I'm like, excuse me. I didn't know anyone else was joining us. And when she put Jimmy, and then she put, I think later on a message, she said Jimmy Simpson. Oh, I had to go and look at it because then I Googled it and I was like, holy shit, that's McPoyle. And then I had to wait until a reasonable time before I could message Dan, even though
6 a.m.
I am sitting on this. I was like, what the fuck do I do? So I messaged Dan like as soon as I thought was reasonable, because I know she goes to work.
Mhm.
So I know she has to get ready to go to work. So I was like, she's going to be up around about here. And just sent this. I don't even know if it sounded coherent at all.
Oh, I was so very confused because this was the first, obviously, I heard about Sammy contacting her and
Because
like,
I didn't think anything
yeah.
would come of it.
And that's the thing, I'm not privy to everything because it is what happens happens. We're quite,
Hmm.
we don't plan very far in advance
If
because
it's something that's on the spot, just fucking do it.
yeah, and I think what people are going to be surprised about, and I don't know if we've talked about this much, which we probably have, probably bored you all to tears about it, to be fair, but they were exactly the same
Hmm.
on the record as they were off the record.
Yeah.
And they weren't on, if you know what I mean. They weren't.
No. No, there was no switch and they turned
Yeah.
into these like amazingly lovely people. They were
No.
exactly the same the minute we met them.
And incredibly humble, both
Oh
of them.
god.
And I want to make
Oh.
that very, very clear because I know a lot of people have made comments about Kira's nepotism with her dad being who he is and things
Yeah.
like that. And and there's been some stuff in the media, and I just think, do you know what? Actually speak to them. Take the
Yeah.
time out and speak to some of these people. And me and Sammy almost fucking fucked it up as well because we got a message because we've worked out the time difference wrong.
No, I
So,
worked out the time difference wrong.
so there was this section just that I got a message from Sammy. I had no makeup on. I was sat on the sofa, thought, oh, I've got a good hour and a half before we have
Yeah.
to, mentally prepare myself for this. No makeup. And then she goes, shit, we need to be on. They've just messaged, are we ready? And I was just like, I've got no fucking makeup.
Yeah, it was we recorded on a
Sunday. It was Father's
sun
Day. And
it was
yeah.
it was and my mother-in-law, just as I pressed record, decided to ring us with an emergency. And I was like, whatever it is, I'll do it. Was because I knew she was going on holiday. And my brother-in-law was taking them to the airport, and I was meant to be picking them up from the airport. I was going to do the run coming home. And I knew it would have something to do with the fact that my brother-in-law couldn't do it.
Hmm.
So I just sent her a message going, underneath the table, whatever it is, the answer is yes, and I will ring you once I'm done.
But yeah, that was absolutely insane because again, I am still even if we became, and this is manifesting
Mm,
with a question mark, even
mm.
if we became incredibly successful as a podcast, which is the dream, I'm
We
not.
don't go in like I think you start out going like I want to do this but then it develops.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if we stay where we are for the rest of eternity. I'm enjoying it, and when
Yeah.
it becomes a point of where me and Sammy aren't enjoying it anymore, then you probably won't see as much from us. But whilst we're still doing it, and this is where we are happy. But
Mhm.
if for God's sake someone come along and went, okay, well, we reckon we can do this with your podcast, and you two have got it where you need to go, and suddenly for some reason we go off into the stratosphere and we get all these massive guests on. I It still absolutely floors me that these people want to come
Yeah.
talk to us.
This is yeah, it was such a crazy wild experience that I always remember because we had to get it out. I was like, right, I've got to get us out of the way with. I was like, right, Jimmy, let's just lay the cards out on the table. We are huge fucking fans of yours. Liam McPoyle is one of our favorite characters. And as I'm saying this, he literally slipped into Liam McPoyle, didn't
Bump
he?
it.
And just went bump it. And I just lost my shit. He allowed me to have that moment
Yeah.
to lose my mind and be okay with it.
Yeah, and the weird sort of turn of events was as well. I've got my Always Sunny Danny DeVito tattoo, and then I've also got my Tarman tattoo, and I was like, I think this is meant to be.
Yeah.
I've got both,
Yeah.
legacy and sort of life on my own, and he was absolutely fascinated. And Jimmy's like, "Who else have you got? Who else have you got?" He was getting really into it, but yeah, it's to this day. I don't know if we'll ever beat that episode, but I want to give next year a good chance.
Yeah,
So You
I
may be
want
seeing some different stuff from us next year.
100%. We have so much that we want to kind of achieve next year because
Mm,
I think we're past the point of laying the groundwork now.
yeah,
We've done that.
yeah.
We've kind of got the instinct of what we want to do. So now it's like, how do we add on top of that? And I'm always going to be reaching for that high. That
Yeah,
high.
it's that feeling. It's not about the views. So I mean, I know whilst I've told you our top three most viewed episodes, what I mean is it's not done with the intention at the beginning of
No,
every movie we review. We're not sitting there going, "Oh, how many views is this going to get?" and then going
no,
on
we don't think
checking
like
and
that.
watching the numbers. Don't care. I couldn't care if something has like 3 views or 5,000 views, but it's always like I say, it's a surprise. So for us, it's like everything we go into, we do it because we're interested in that movie at the time. So
Yeah.
you get the best out of us while we're really interested in that film.
That's so true. And Daniz obviously knows me very well that I haven't watched a lot of films. So she's just adding to my back catalogue because there's a lot that's been added in there this year.
We've done a lot of 80s this year, I think.
We have, and I'm quite happy for that. I told you at the beginning of the year I wanted, and it was the Return of the Living Dead that this was this turning point. I was like, I really want to look into more of 80s horror because there's just something so magical sitting in there. Even if it is batshit crazy, it's still so magical. And we have covered a lot of 80s. We did Chud, Near Dark, is that
That's, I think
it?
it was late 80s on the cusp of 90s, I think.
Right. Um, we did, oh my gosh, we did The Howling. Oh, The Town That Said Dreaded Sundown, is that 70s?
That was the 70s and
70s.
2000.
That's right. I love that. That was a good episode. Um, Scanners, we did
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, Chopping Mall.
yep,
That actually happened. That movie actually happened.
it is. Um,
But no, then we did Halloween 3, The Changeling,
we've done
then
so
obviously The
many,
Howling.
so many this year. I think again, it's the year for the decade for ridiculous
Hmm.
and incredibly well done. Um, so you're not going to see any less 80s from us next year.
No.
Um,
No,
we
no, not at all.
found that you guys don't really like the more shall we say, when I say highbrow, I mean like Argento-y style movie reviews
Yeah,
from us. We watching the trends of what people want, and we're looking at what we can keep, what people like and what they don't. So we're not going to wallow in giving you 50 videos by Argento if no one's interested. Do you know
no.
what I mean? So
Even
yeah,
though I
so
think Mike Kell would be, but I can't just cater for you, Mike. Sorry.
it
Um, we also did the brilliant, magnificent Frankenhooker. That was our second episode. Was
was.
Frankenhooker.
Because we had to make up for Nosferatu. We didn't do a bad episode, but it was just we kicked off with Nosferatu because but like I think we said this last week. We were both just so excited for it,
Hmm.
and then we both just came away with it not knowing really how to feel about it,
No,
and
even talking it
sitting there
out
trying to
didn't help.
no, and when we were trying to dissect it, it still didn't feel like
No,
there was much
no.
content to it. So I know so many people do love it, and I do apologize to Sarah because I know Zara absolutely adores that movie.
Zara and Sam Munster as well.
Yeah,
And I so wanted to be on that level. I really, really did. We really, really did. We wanted that because we were so excited about kicking off with Nosferatu because we were going to be on, on trend. It was just coming out. We weren't even announcing what we were doing right up until the last minute. And then it was like, oh my God,
we
how are we
just
going to
both
do
lost this
this?
like little
Oh,
spark, I think.
we did.
You can tell when we're really enjoying a movie because
Yeah.
we just
Oh,
have fun with it. And it's very rare that we have one come along where we don't enjoy. And I think when you look back to maybe 2023, early 24, when we
mm,
were doing the marathon movies, so we were picking like Jason or Michael, and we were picking the character and not the film.
yeah.
That was a burden of watching so many films that it just became
Dan
consuming,
watching so
and
many films.
it just the fun level had left the room at that
Hmm.
point. So we
Yeah,
learned our lessons not to kind of take it to a character rather than to split it up and make
Yeah.
the films individual and trying to treat each one as its own little
thing. Its own little
yeah.
thing. We hardly covered any old movies. We did do White Zombie.
Zombie. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
doing that one.
I love that, by the way. I love doing White Zombie. Such a good film. We did do A Man Behind the Makeup this year with Jack Pierce.
Mhm.
That was a lovely little thing to dive into.
Yeah.
Just know a little bit more about him.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you're going to get some more man behind the makeup,
Yeah.
directors behind the monsters, or whatever we called these episodes in the past. Cursed movies, they're all going to be coming back for sure next year.
Yeah.
But if you don't want them and you've got a new suggestion, please do suggest, because
Hey, we're open.
We're doing this for you guys. I mean, as much as we do it for ourselves and we're self-serving, if you guys want to hear something a bit different, please just tell us. We're cool. Give us some suggestions. If you want us to cover something really random, we're happy to if it fits.
We're very much happy. We've done a few screeners this year, something that we'll be looking at more next year, and have a little bit more structure to them, because sometimes they can just come in very randomly.
And we get very quick, and we've got to turn around like a view in like a day and a half, and sometimes it's just not possible for some of the deadlines that we've been given. But we did get, and I'm not going to go into it, we've just recently had Dracula, and she's got an amazing review for you guys. But this was the year for gothic horror romance. I want to add the romance situation, even though Frankenstein technically didn't have it in it too much. But it wasn't a romance between two people. It was a romantic
feeling. Setting.
Dracula, the Luc Besson version.
So glad you said his name.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing that someone's done. It's not bad. Not bad.
It's not. It's just when you come off the back of Frankenstein.
Yeah, and I also felt that maybe he was taking digs at the Francis Ford Coppola one. I don't know. I there were some things and stuff, and
it's a hard one to determine whether it's a dig or it's a homage.
Yeah, and because it was kind of like, for me, Dracula was somewhere in that weird place of, is it a comedy? Is it serious? And then when you know it's Luc Besson, you're like, okay, well, he did Fifth Element, and which is everybody knows him for, and that was a really bizarre movie, really, when you think about it. So it kind of makes sense. And yeah, I don't know what to make of that film, but read Sammy's review.
We have had other guests on. We had Ian White on, where we got to talk to him about his movies. We've also had the return of Zara, Scary Zara Mary.
Correct.
Scary Zara Mary came on. I said her name so fast there, it didn't sound right. Came on and we did the whole Conjuring universe. If I press YouTube one more time for an episode to play, I'm going to cry. And we also had the great Sam Bunster come on. And what we did with Sam is something that we're going to do more next year, when monsters meet monsters. So Sam was kind of like the pilot episode. But we are going to have Sam Munster back on for an actual episode, because I could just talk to that girl all day. I absolutely love her. She keeps me sane on the socials. She keeps me right too. So yes, next year, bigger, better, monstery, for goodness. But
I would like to also put out a small public apology for some of my pronunciations over this last year of people's names, exceptionally for Rob Bottin, right? And I also want to apologise for the Takeshi Mike comment. It's Mike. I don't know why I said Mike, and I stuck with it. I dug my heels in on that one, but I know it's Takeshi Mike, and I feel like I should bring this up because I know people were shouting at me through the TV or through the audio with my pronunciations on those specific two. And I'm sure there's many more, but they're the two that stand out the more. Honestly, every time I hear myself say it, if I play back the episode, I'm like,
you just go, oh no.
God,
yeah, there's so many times I've done that. I actually shout at myself going, are you that fucking stupid?
It's one of those things where if it's a name that is very has an accent or an inflection on it, bear with me. That's fine. But when I'm just being a lazy reader and I'm just reading what I've written down,
Yeah.
and not doing the phonetics, sounding of the name, I do apologise. So for the odd time, feel free to correct me, but don't just, I
Don't be a
am.
dick about it.
Well, you can, but you're breaking the rules. So
Yeah, exactly. My big pet peeve with myself is, when I'm sitting there going, and what's that word? And I'm shouting it at myself going, no, it's this.
God, yeah.
Yeah, that's my worst one. But I did do a episode. I guested on somebody else's podcast doing an episode on the Lost Boys, and I spent an entirety not only ripping that movie apart, but also saying the wrong character name all the way through. When I was referring to Michael, I was saying David and vice versa, and I annoyed myself to the point where I was like, "Fuck, I can't listen to this anymore." I'm the one who sounds like a dick now.
But I also think a little bit of exposition to explain to you people why we may mess up every now and again. In our defense, we do record quite late.
We do.
So by the time we're at the end of an episode, it's anywhere between 11 and 12 p.m. at night. So
Last week was where I was like, it's 11
we were
o'clock. I can't
delirious.
fucking talk no more.
We got so delirious towards the end of that one because I just listened to that one back because I thought to
Mhm.
myself, do you know what? We put a lot of
Mm,
time into that episode. And
we
I,
did.
I, I thought, right, okay, I'll listen to it. And yeah, you can hear us going, we
There's
start
a
off strong and then you just hear us falling off the edge towards the end.
there's a few episodes like that because I know what time we record, so
Mhm.
you can hear towards the end me and you're going right, okay, and we basically can't get out. We just like everything slows down.
The key will always be Dan, shut the fuck up when Sammy goes, what are we doing next week? I'm like, shut up. That's the
I
cue.
should- It's time. We need to go to bed. We either need to go to bed or we need the toilet. That's one of the two
Yeah,
reasons.
because we do talk for hours and hours and hours, and like
Mhm.
I drink quite a lot when I talk as well. So
Yeah.
like by the
I
time
go through at least one of these
Mm.
in audio won't be able to see, but it's like a big massive bottle of water. And also I have my other drink. I have two drinks on the go while we're here. So by the time we're finished, we're like, yeah, we need the toilet.
you see us fidgeting if you're watching on
Yeah.
YouTube, it's because
I
we're
mean,
done.
don't take I fidget all the time and I move about all the time. So don't take that as I constantly need the toilet, but I just can't keep my legs still. Um, right, let's do the movies of 2025.
Yeah, so thank you so much to everybody. I know
Yes.
I know we say it a lot, but we
But
mean
we
it.
mean it.
So I mean, I can't express how much gratitude I have for people just listening to us talk absolute bullshit and even stick with us when we get the names
Yeah.
wrong. So
And the fact that it's just also the lovely comments we get on social media. Like, I can be quite scared of social media sometimes, especially with the fact, like, I don't know what I would do now. Now, when I used to do YouTube before, I didn't give a shit that so many people came after us. I was dealing with a completely different crowd. I expected it from those people.
yeah.
The community that I'm in now, I don't want to do that to people. I don't want to have them type of conversation. So I would shit a brick if I got anything negative. And thank Christ
This is
I
where Dan
haven't.
excels.
Yeah, this
Give
is
me
where
a
I'm like,
troll.
Dan, come on in. And
Give me a
anytime,
troll.
and to be honest, anytime that I have, I've had people who are listening to the podcast come and defend us.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you. There's not enough words to say thank you.
Yeah.
And this
Even if you
year's
don't
been
comment,
great.
and you don't mention you're here, we still appreciate you,
Yeah.
and please do tell us, you can just comment on a post on Instagram or on TikTok or on Facebook.
Messages. I love talking to people.
Yeah, she talks to everybody. It'll be Sammy that you talk to, not me, because frankly,
People have started to recognize that now. Normally, nobody would say they'll just say hi. Now
mm,
it's hi, Sammy.
yeah.
So people are knowing who they're talking to, but whereas before they weren't too sure. Like Dean, when he sent us the because we reviewed Dean's movie this year, and when Dean sent us the stuff over for it, it was just hi, ladies.
Probably because Dean forgot my name, even though I seen him last weekend. Wouldn't put it past him.
Dean's had an amazing year, and
Mm,
everyone should go and support his movie because it is really fun.
yeah.
Um, right. horror of 2025. And we start off with, now bearing in mind, this isn't all the horror that came out in 2025 because this year has been crazy. The independent scene has been on fire. Commercially, it's been nuts. These are the movies we have seen. That's it. Not all of them.
Only one I haven't in this list, but
that's right, and that there's a reason, and I'll get to that reason because I told her not to do it. Right, first one off the bat, I have in February of 2025, Hard Eyes. I only watched this recently. This is where you're going to see the difference between mine and Dan's taste. I loved it.
Oh.
Dan didn't.
I think for me, it is a case of I understand what it was. It was kind of campy. There was the homage to the drive-in section in Sundown where he's going to drive through. There was the whole thing where all that stuff. But with me, and this isn't a spoiler now because it was February and we're in December when this goes out. So sorry, skip forward if you need to. How was that supposed to be Jordana Brewster?
What do you mean, as in the killer?
Yes. I mean...
okay. Right. I don't know.
Right. Firstly, I'm going to be quite... not graphic. There was no boobs. Are we to believe she was like gaffer taping herself down? She is and this isn't body shaming, but she's a tiny lady. And the killer was a big, stacked, huge human, right?
They were.
And I understand we're in movie magic land, right? I get it. But like, come on. Come on. I know we're doing generic killer in a mask, so it could be anybody. La, 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 la.
I genuinely thought it was going to be Devon Sawyer, so I can't say his
Sawa.
name. Do you know what? I used to be able to think, I thought I could see his name because I was saying it's Sawyer. Now I've heard him say it.
It's Sawa.
I'm like, Sawa. Yeah. I genuinely thought it was going to be him. I don't know how. I was like, no, you can't have him in this movie for 5 minutes and it not be him.
It's just strange. Like, for me, you've got your big names. So I say big names. You had Devon.
Yeah.
You had Jordana. You had
the kid from
Mason
Scream.
Goodin. Who else was in this one? That's really it, isn't it, for the big?
Yeah, as in big. Yeah, I don't know who the lead female was. She was all right. I didn't mind her. I loved the romantic comedy side of it. I'm not gonna lie.
I think for me, it felt very Blumhouse.
And I do get that.
I don't think it was a Blumhouse. I think this was an independent from Blumhouse. I think it was a Screen Gems or a Sony or something. I don't think
brought me laptop.
Yeah, I don't think it was a Blumhouse, but it feels like Jason Blum had something to do with it, and I can't. It's got to be the whole masked killer thing. I think they were hoping it would spawn a lot of spin-offs with the masked killer thing, and it could be anyone. But we've had that 1,000 times. Look, if this year's proved anything, we don't need that now.
No, we don't.
So
it had nothing to do with Blumhouse whatsoever. His name is not there. I get it. The aesthetic wise, it looked like Happy Death Day. That kind of. I think
that's what it is. Yeah.
That kind of aesthetic. It was Spyglass Media, and Sony Pictures who did it. But I can totally understand where you're coming from. I think the opening scene was absolutely hilarious. The kill on that. I think the kills they were fun. They were graphic, they were very cartoony, and I quite appreciated that. Because the comedy matched the cartoony kills.
I watched the trailer before we did this because I wanted to refresh my memory because it was so long ago, because I watched it when it came out.
I only watched it a few weeks ago.
The kills in it, you're correct, are incredibly cartoony, but they spoil the whole film in the trailer except for the reveal. And it's like, okay, I appreciate the effort you've put in, and I also got a kill count for every movie on here as well.
Oh, that's cool. So
I know that I'd say only 16 people were killed in this film by Heart Eyes. I like the look of the mask, but
I
it
liked
looked
it.
to me like Nightbreed, but with glowy eyes. You know the
Oh,
Doctor in Nightbreed, because we did that this year
yeah.
as well. So
Yes.
I don't know, it gave off that kind of vibe, like mask. But then if that's a homage, that's great. Like
Yeah.
I'm not knocking anything, and I think it has its place.
Mm-hmm.
But this wasn't the year for slashers. This isn't the year for that kind of movie. I don't. Well,
No.
in February, you wouldn't have known that, obviously. But
No,
like,
we wouldn't. No, and to be honest, with the releases that we're gonna like the the ramp up at the time was leading into another movie that comes out later in the summer. I know what you did last summer.
Mhm.
Um, no, you're right. It wasn't the year of slashes. This wasn't its year.
Mhm.
It does have its place. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. But this isn't the year of slashes.
No,
And yeah,
it kind of got lost in all the new, more innovative, more
that's
psychological, more
yeah,
thrillery. There's so many different kind of
body
categories.
horror.
Yeah, there's so much in this list.
The next one in February is a personal favorite of mine, The Monkey. A lot
The
of people didn't like this movie. He's right
I
there.
know, I know, and I don't know why, because it is just stupid. The next two
It's
movies on this list we have different opinions on,
we
except
do.
for this one. We both love this one because this was just horror comedy. We're
Yeah.
talking ridiculous from the outset. You know what you're getting from that first kill with the shopkeeper, the harpoon, the guy from Severance. And you're sitting there and you're going,
What?
"Well, Parks and Rec," and like, do you know what I mean? You're
Oh
watching it
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
and
I'm
you're
just
just
thinking of
going,
the scene, and it's like,
the intestines being reeled back
and
into
the
the
fact that he's
harpoon
just
gun.
standing there watching it, like expecting it to happen and not being fazed by it. It made me look at the Theo, what's his face?
Yeah, him from The Gentleman slash
I I can't.
Divergent or
I
whatever it
can't
was he was
stand
in.
him. I kind of stand him, and it's all down to the In-Betweeners movie. I've ever since that movie, I just look at him and go, ugh. But no, I totally changed my opinion on him. He played two parts,
Mhm.
both equally as brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I know I'm probably a little bit biased because it is a King based off a King book,
And it's
but
Osgood Perkins as well, so
to be honest,
he can do no wrong for me, Osgood. So
I have a different opinion on that. I'm teetering with him. I am teetering, but this I thought he did absolutely brilliantly. He
the,
just
the death with of the character Osgood played was probably one of my favourites. It was an off-screen death in
mhm.
theory, but when they hear him, suddenly it flashes to a funeral, and they have his picture up, and they're like, "Oh, he got trampled to death by 600 horses in a stampede." And when they open the
Was he
bag,
that
it
he
looked
was
like,
the uncle, wasn't he?
yeah, and it looked like a cherry pie inside the
Yeah,
sleeping bag. And it's like, firstly, how did he get himself caught in a sleeping bag? They're just ridiculous kills. So it felt like it was taking the piss out of the genre, but doing it to a graphic level of which you're
yeah,
like, oh my God, that's really visceral. Jeez, oh wow. It wasn't like a piss take and then not coming through with the gore to
yeah.
back it up.
Not backing it up, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the next one that comes out in March, which is the one I watched at the weekend, Death of a Unicorn.
go on.
I didn't like it. I did
Not a
not
lot of
like
people
it.
did. Not a
I
lot of
did not
people
like
did.
it. It didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
It certainly was not funny. It was they made this out in the trailer. It was going to be a comedy fest.
Mm.
It was anything but. Um, the fact that when the minute Richard E. Grant came on the screen, I went, oh, okay, this is going to be some highbrow comedy. Then this is where it's nope, didn't happen. The only thing that got us was Will Poulter, fucking brilliant. Love the kid. Cannot do no wrong for my eyes. Paul Rudd was even a letdown. I just thought, wah, wah, you've absolutely dropped the ball on that. And making Jenna Ortega a physical dirty goth. No, so at the end of the film, I went, what the fuck have we just watched?
I think for me, this movie was just, I went into it knowing it was going to be ridiculous with the title Death of a Unicorn and there being a unicorn
Yeah.
in it. So my brain was like, I'm prepared for whatever they give me here
Uh-huh.
because it really what
It's a
we're looking at
unicorn.
here. And Jenna Ortega, I think they were trying to show her going from dirty goth to clean goth because of the whole unicorn situation and the blood and what it did. And
There's
then,
got to have been some other way to do
oh, of
that.
course, there would have been 1,000 other ways of dealing with it. They didn't do that well. Paul Rudd, it was nice to see him play something different. So for me, okay, yeah, we're not going in with the expectations that we're going to get Paul Rudd 60% of the time, 100% of the time. Do you know what I mean? We're getting
Yeah,
we're getting a
yeah.
different side of him, which I did kind of appreciate. It didn't land, you're correct, it didn't. Will Poulter was the star of the show in that film for me
Star.
because that, as you say, can do no wrong. That
Mm-mm.
he just brings
He
joy.
oozes
Um,
hilarious. Like
he,
honestly, everything about him is so funny in this film. Everything he says is a contradictory to whatever he has just said before. It is so good.
and Tia Leone and Richard E. Grant. And then let's not forget Daisy from Spaced, who plays the
What we walk into the mansion and I'm like, why is Daisy there?
head of security, Daisy from
She
Spaced.
loved how serious she took it.
Yeah, I mean, I know her as Jessica. Oh
Jessica
God,
Haynes or Jessica
yeah.
Stevenson, depending on what name she goes
I was
by.
going to say Stevenson, but yeah, I knew she had the new name. But yeah, I was blown away when I saw that, and I think for me, The Monkey and Death of a Unicorn were in the same sort of category as horror comedy, so it was refreshing. You went from
It
Heart
was,
Eyes, which was a
well, I'll give
slasher.
it, it was different.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I mean about this year. You have got so much coming out that is just so different and so different and so different and so different.
Yeah.
And every month had something different, which was really just great because, like I say, started off with a slasher, then you've gone to 2 horror comedies. So your palate is cleansed and ready for something now. You're waiting for
Oh,
something,
yeah.
you can feel it in your bones, then something's coming that's going to
Yeah.
be completely genre changing or just going to wipe the floor with what you think of that genre. And that's what
And
happens with this next one.
yeah,
So,
that was a great lead up because, yes, when we hit April, we get the movie we did not know we needed. Now, don't know how we could live without is Sinners.
holy shit.
What the actual fuck? Ryan Coogler, you glorious motherfucker. I love that man so much. If the name Ryan Coogler is not familiar to you, he is the director of Black Panther.
Wakanda
He
forever.
Wakanda Forever. Now, the last week, Chadwick Boseman got his posthumous, I can't say it, his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Mhm.
Well deserved. It breaks my heart every time that I have to remind myself he is no longer here because he should still be here. It is a complete and utter disservice and injustice that that man is not here because he is incredibly beautiful. And it's something Ryan Coogler said on that day because Ryan Coogler was there, Michael B. Jordan was there, and it was something that he said in his speech when he was doing Sinners. He said when he was doing Sinners, he was with me every day. He was with me. I thought of him. His guidance saw me through Sinners. And then Michael B. Jordan mentioned something about his brother in arms. I am telling you now, if he was alive, it wasn't going to be twins. It
Mm-mm.
was going to be them two.
Oh,
I am
100%.
getting choked up even thinking about it.
I watched so many YouTube videos after Sinners came out on how they did it because
Mm.
for me, the cinematography was outstanding, but it actually, and when I say, you know, me and my CGI opinions, if it's
Mm.
there to help a movie along, I'm great
Well,
with it. Or if you know you're going into a CGI fest, you
yeah,
know what you're getting.
yeah.
With this, the sheer amount of work that went into us getting to Michael B. Jordan's and then
Mhm.
not realizing by the end of it that they're not real. This is impossible.
Yeah.
That you are seeing.
Yeah, because at the end I'm going, okay, then in this universe, in this world, in my world, Michael B. Jordan exists twice.
And it's like you don't even think about it. And I watched the Corridor crew analyze this, and the rig system that they used is similar to the system that they used for 28 years later, which I'll get into a bit. But the way that they did a lot of the mocap for this is when you watch a lot of the mocap footage back for say Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, they're all in the grey suits with the dots and the the balls, and they're writhing around and they're being filmed as stick men, like in the Wii or the PlayStation Move pick you up, that sort of stuff. Well, the way that they did it was they made like a head brace unit, and they had all iPhones and GoPros all the way around, and they were doing 360 shots of every single facial expression he did, and every time he acted it out. Then they literally cut his face out and stuck it on the body of the book. They did have someone play him, the other brother, whenever he wasn't playing that brother. The other brother was played by like a double, but they cut the face out and they superimposed the face, and it was done so seamlessly. The guys from Corridor Crew were just like, we cannot find the join line, because they do this for a living. They know what they're looking for. They're like, we can't see it. You forget straight away there's only one Michael B. Jordan. And the fact that they took something that we have seen 1,000 times, which is a vampire-based movie, and turned it on its head to an extent of where they breathed new life into that kind of genre.
It made me look at it differently. Because I think my issue with vampire movies is, one, I don't like the Dracula story. I'm not a big fan of it. I can't say I don't like it. I'm just not a big fan of it. And two, I'm sick of seeing the same generic shit that comes out of vampire movies, TV shows. I'm bored with it.
I want to suck the blood.
No.
Exactly.
But with this, it was so refreshing and such a unique look at it. The only one gripe, and it's fucking tiny, that I have,
I know what you're going to say,
is the vampire hunters.
Yeah, we need more from the Native American people. You only got like a tiny little peek into the indigenous kind of.
So much they could have done, and maybe, and this is the only one time, because Anth loved this movie, and I didn't think he was going to. Something about us was like, I don't know if he's going to get bored but he was gripped in it, and he just went at the end, I could see this as a TV show. I really could see this as a TV show, and especially if we could get more from the vampire hunters, because he went, they could have really led this, but he went, apart from that, that was perfection. I don't usually hear Ant say that about a lot of films. That just, meh, it was all right. There's only been that one, and everything, everywhere, all at once, left him speechless. Like, to the point where he's like, what?
Yeah, that left me kind of shook, that one. But we're not talking about that one.
No, we're not. But Sinners, it must have been so heavy for Michael B. Jordan. If the whole Chadwick Boseman thing was how it was originally meant to be, and he's playing both parts, knowing that one of them was meant to be him, like, that just makes this a whole different level of, oh my God, you did a fucking amazing job. And the scene with the music, the transition and transcending of music and dance, and oh my good God, Ryan needs to win every single award if he can, because that was inspirational. I don't know any other word to describe how I felt in that moment.
I think for me, it was just, again, like I said, we were ready for something new, and they went, you want something new? Have that. And you were at that point, because the last, I don't know, couple of years since the dreaded Panini, we've been 4 years of friggin' same old regurgitation.
Generic.
And you get the odd gem in there, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking everything, but this year has just stood out. It's like everybody has sat back and gone, right, now's the time, and
the bar.
Sinners was a stepping stone for the rest of the movies, for like, it set a bar for the rest of the year. And I mean, still, I do think it was probably the top, in my top 3 for this year, Sinners, 100%. Just for the fact that he pulled off something that I didn't know I needed from the vampire camp, that we're all like, oh, boring. We're not all like, oh, boring, but you know what I mean, like, vampires have been done and done and done, so it was just so refreshing to see it from another viewpoint.
Oh, 100%. This is definitely in my top 5. Definitely. And my top 5 has chopped and changed throughout the year.
Oh, mine will change next week.
No, to be honest, I have 3 that won't change. And that leads me lovely into the next one,
Yeah.
which came out in April the same year. I decided because I know there's a lot of body horror stuff that Dan wants to do, and we just can't because I'm a chicken shit and I don't do body horror. And this year I thought, no, let's push the envelope a bit. And Zara had just been like did her review on this, and really I absolutely loved it and was speaking so highly of it and the body horror element of it. And I went, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I sat and watched The Ugly Stepsister, and this is one of my favorite films of the year.
I
It
had
was
it on my watch list
unbelievable.
for a long time before I sat down and watched it, because time is a factor for me. With the, like when we work, like I say, work full time during the week, then I do
Mhm.
shows most weekends, then we're doing the podcast. So when I do get a clear weekend, I like to sit down and catch up.
Yeah.
And that was on the list for a long time until I got around to it. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of subtitles, not for any other reason than because I have to wear my glasses when I'm watching them
Yeah.
so I can read it. I can't see very well with white on,
Yeah,
just the white writing. I tend to, it tends to really mess me up, so I have to wear my glasses to read it. So that's the only reason I keep putting it off, thinking, oh God, I've got to read the subtitles, because it's in German, Danish. I
Danish.
am so sorry I didn't write that down. Also, I just want to say the monkey kill count was 465 people.
Oh, right, okay.
The death of a unicorn was 16, and sinners was 134.
Hold up. What was Monkey?
465.
Shit, if we do that, that's like the biggest kill count of shit. Okay. I see it. It was it was it was I don't know what it was, sorry.
Yeah.
Is it Danish? I think it's Danish. I'm looking at some of the actresses and actors' names and they look Danish. I'm gonna say yeah. No. That's where it was
Swedish?
released. I don't know. Hang on. Ugly Stepsister language. It's Danish.
It's Danish, right? Yeah. This was a take on a fairy tale. So we're going from slasher, horror comedy, vampires, straight into the take on Cinderella. But this
But
isn't Cinderella.
this is not your typical fairy tale Disney story. This is from the point of view of the ugly stepsister, who I fucking fell in love with. I could totally see
Elvira.
her.
Yeah.
I could totally see her point of view. Was that her name? Was she
The
Elvira?
character name was Elvira, yeah.
Do you know what? I actually watched this not long after it was released. Yes, Elvira. I totally got why she was pissed off at Agnes. Like, I totally understood it. And the level of the intensity of what she had to do in order to make herself beautiful. There is some grotesquely stunning visuals in here. But one, I think, heightened up. I don't do eyes very well. The eye scene alone nearly sent us over the edge. But
The nose.
the toes. I just went, oh no, I can't.
Do you know what the one that got me? And everybody that's seen this will know exactly what bit I'm about to say. The tapeworm.
Oh,
The tapeworm is the bit that got me. Now, I did not expect to see any of this stuff.
no.
Like, literally, I went into this thinking it's just going to be about the ugly stepsister's revenge against Cinderella or something along those lines. That's
Yeah.
what I was envisaging. Oh, no. You don't
No.
even have to read the subtitles to understand what's going on. That's how good this film was.
That's true. You could honestly, you could walk out the room and come back in, and you would know exactly where you were. And I did on the eye scene where she gets eyelash extensions.
Plastic surgery in the 1500s or whenever this was based. It's amazing to see what it took for one person to conform to the beauty standards that
Oh,
came
the
so
levels.
easily to another person who took it for complete granted. And that
Yes.
is the allegory. That is the thing for this, you know, people work damn hard for what they get, and if you have it naturally or if you get it given to you, then you shouldn't take it for granted,
Yeah.
because you have to understand that there's enough people out there that work damn hard for it too.
Oh, absolutely. But there was also the level of abuse that she was getting from her mother in order to have these, you know, to achieve these high standards. And when she eventually just gets her sister and leaves, oh my gosh, the cinematography in this is something that I don't even know how these levels are reached, how these colors are created,
Proper
because they,
fairy tale, all of it, isn't
oh
it?
my
It's like
God,
all
them
of it.
pastels, them purples. Oh, I loved it. I love the dry flowers. I just, everything about this whole thing. So this is one of my top 3 movies of the year. I couldn't get over how much of an effect it had on us. And even like take the body horror element out of it, everything else still has like, it's still so beautifully and brilliantly done. And that leads us into my second favorite movie of the year. I watched, what was the other one called again?
Let the Right One In.
No, that's the bloody vampire one, man. Oh man, what's it called? The same people who did that did this, and it was called.
Oh,
Talk to Me.
that's it. The
Talk to
Hand.
Me. The Hand one. So
Yeah.
I watched Talk to Me, and then I watched this because I wanted to get an idea of the people who did it, and we're talking about Mia's release of Bring Her Back. I wanted to get an idea of the guys who made it before I went into this, because I just heard so many brilliant things about it, and I'd never seen Talk to Me. Oh my God. The, Talk to Me in itself, it was fucking phenomenal. But this, I just, again, another level of body horror that I didn't expect to like get or be okay with.
I think, right, slasher, comedy, vampires, fairy tales. Now we're into psychological, supernatural stuff with this one, because technically I would class it as a supernatural horror, this,
I
because
would.
you don't understand it is until you're about 2/3 way through the film. You can pay attention to little bits and you think, oh, okay, that's happening over there, but you don't think it's what's actually going on over there as well. So it's like that you become so fascinated on the dynamic of the stepmother, if that's for the want of a better word, of what
I
she's
don't know.
the foster mother,
Foster mother.
yeah, who is the lady who's in Shape of Water,
Sally Hawkins.
yeah, who has an affair with a fish. So yeah,
Well
it's
done, her.
she in this. Bear in mind, she's British. She pulls out a cracking Australian accent in this, because it's based. I think it's based in Australia. I don't, forgive me if it's supposed to be New Zealand. I do apologise, but I think it's Australia. It's supposed to be based in. The visuals they use, they don't do too much, but what they do packs a punch, and a hell of a punch. And I think the standout cast member is the son, the kid.
Oh, yes. Bravo. And also bravo for them using Sora Wong, who is a blind actress. That was incredibly brave and brilliant of them to do. Yes, Billy Barrett, who was the main kid, fuck me, he was. I mean, Sally Hawkins is perfection, absolutely perfection in this. Talk to Me and Bring Her Back are 2 great ways of exploring grief, and they're done in 2 very different
Oh
ways
god, yeah.
as well. Bring Her Back is, oh my god, it's like anyone who has suffered that level of the early stages of grief where you are, I will do anything to bring them back. She gets the opportunity.
Yeah, because she's offered the opportunity through a child is abducted and then became a conduit, and then she needed to find a replacement to for the conduit to put the new soul into.
That one has to go in order for that one to go in.
Yeah, so the little boy was harboring this demon that was able to do the ritual to put her dead daughter into the new daughter, the foster daughter. But in doing so, she had to kill the foster daughter for the spirit and the ritual to take place. But it was heartbreaking watching that kid, because if that kid crossed the salt line, the demon was bound to the house. From what I could gather, it was bound to like an area.
And it just caused so much pain for the kids because
And
it
the
was
scene with
trying
the
to.
knife, the scene with the knife.
The fucking table, man.
You know when your eyes almost go, ooh, you know when you can't, you're watching something and you're like, oh, well, I don't get gipped out by certain. It's fingernails that get me out, right? Of all the things in horror, watching someone peel a fingernail,
teeth and
but this
eyes.
one, I was transfixed. I was like, because you shouldn't be watching it with a child doing it. It's
No.
harrowing if an adult was to do it, but to get a kid to do what they did with that added this huge level of, wow, I have complex emotions that I am feeling about this, and I don't know how to process this.
Talk about complex emotions. The end. I have never. I thought I had her figured out, and she's an awful human being, and what she's doing is wrong. I think we mentioned this on the Frankenstein episode. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But when she is standing in that pool and all that grief just consumes her, all I want to do is go and give her a hug. I have never been so conflicted on a character than I was with Sally Hawkins in that role. She was absolutely spellbinding. And this hit me on such a level.
I understand, with grief, you take every opportunity you're given. But at some point, if someone says to you, put your dead daughter in a freezer, we'll abduct a kid, and then we'll conduct some sort of ceremony to put your kid's consciousness in a new kid. So you're now going to have to babysit this demon trapped in a boy's body for the next foreseeable until we find that other, that other thing. And it's just like, holy crap. The things that she sacrificed to get that, like even all of her work colleagues, like that woman that come round to do the visit.
Yeah.
The little old lady, and did she drive a car into her and made her go flying or something? I can't remember that bit specifically, but there was just these moments.
She tries to leave.
Yeah, they pick and choose. It's not consistent, like gore after gore after kill after kill after kill. They pick their moments with what happens to a point of where when it happens, there's so much impact in that one thing that will sustain you if you're a horror. If you're there for that kind of stuff, it's not overused, it's used correctly, and it has that hell of a like when it's used. And I think that's what this film did really, really well.
100%. I watched the first one, then this one. So by the point at the end of this one, and Talk to Me is very much a heavily, dealing with grief and loss. It's just a very different way of looking at it. And I love when people explore grief because I've tried to explore my own. So, I like to see how other people have kind of like constructed theirs. And don't get us wrong, these are not ones that I would ever try to follow. But I don't know, there's something about it, like it hits you on such an emotional level that you can kind of relate to it. And to get me through the day, because that was so heavy, I ended up watching The Life of Chuck afterwards and having a life affirming, reaffirming moment that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Because that movie is so, you've got this where it's dealing with death and grief and loss, and then that is just pure life and living. And oh, what a contrast I had that day. It was so weird. But bring her back. I do want to do a proper deep dive episode into that because it would be something really interesting to explore. The next one that hits us in May is Final Destination Bloodlines. And all I really got to say on this, I'm not a huge fan of the Final Destination franchise, but I found this quite fun.
1 and 3 are still my favorite. One, because we hadn't seen anything like that when that first came out. So one always has an amazing part. Three, I just love the roller coaster thing. And just the sheer ridiculousness that come off after that one. But this one, I have to be honest, was so fantastical with the kills. It just leapt into that "you lost me" category. Do you know what I mean? And I know when you look at the other kills, you can say that, oh yeah, this was fantastical. But they were, they were all chain reactions. So if the door blew shut, then this hit that, then the wind blew that, and then this would happen. It felt like these were just very not is forced the right word. The whole tattoo situation, that scene.
But he survived.
I know, but they like the way that they were gearing it up to be a thing,
Yeah.
and I'm like, your septum would have ripped out by that point.
Yeah, there was
I you know, they kind of got there with the MRI. That was the bit where I went, whoa, okay,
Ooh.
that is new, and I like. Oh God, it sounds so bad when I say I like that kill, but you know what I mean. It's like the thought that and the
It's not just a generic one note.
yeah.
Let's just follow the same pattern we've done countless amount of times.
Yeah.
I like I say, I've got no love for this franchise. It's not something that I'm a big fan of. So when I went in to watch it, I was literally going to say goodbye to Tony Todd. That was the only reason I kind of went in to see it. To know that Tony wrote his own speech was beautiful. But meh, it was a film that was out this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about it. I didn't need it, but again, if we're
Tony
looking
got
at
to say goodbye. Was it?
yeah, if we're looking at it from a swan song point of view, then he did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad we didn't have a lot. This is only one of 3 of the big franchises you see this year. That's it. There was only 3 big. When I say big, you know what I mean, like huge franchises. There was only 3 movies that come out, so this wasn't a year of franchise either, which I think was great. So again, go back: slasher, horror comedy, vampires, fairy tales, supernatural, psychological, grieving thriller, horror, and then you get your gore fest with this.
Yeah,
and the kills in this was 219, so there was less kills in this movie than there was in The Monkey.
I can't believe the monkey's so high. I don't know why I don't believe it, because a whole fucking town was taken out, but my God. The next one is, we're starting to creep into the summer. This kind of kicks off the summer season 28 years later.
Parkour.
28 Parkour! Is it 28 years after the last one?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah. And again, another franchise that I didn't have a lot of love for. But on day of release, I sat and watched the first one, second one, and went straight into the third one. And I loved being in that world. Just for that day, I was happy. And I'm loving the idea of where they're going to go with this. I can't wait for the Bone Temple. I think Ralph Fiennes was the standout in that movie. Don't get us wrong. Really, really fucking appreciated you getting the accent right. That was from the bottom of my northern heart.
Jodie Comer is fantastic with accents.
Fuck me. I heard so many people I know through her voice, and the fact she used it's the I, because we say I a lot. Aaron Taylor Johnson did his homework. I mean, we said this on Nosferatu. That kid, he's brilliant. We love him. We did not hate his performance in that, and I certainly did not hate his performance in this. The way he did his speech in front of that's pure northern talk. That the way he talked to the crowd was just, yeah, I could hear people I've heard a million times. I really enjoyed it. But
and
again,
also, it was filmed really in northeast places, like, and I'm going to do it because this every time goes through my head. Holy Island. I had to get it out there because it
oh no, I've got Holy Driver stuck in my head now.
Yeah,
what's becoming of me?
Honestly,
sorry.
Yeah, because it was filmed on Holy Island. It based on Holy Island being where they all go to and stuff like that. So it's a very Northumberland, I think that is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yes.
like it is one of those things where they kept it where it should be. It felt right. They didn't use like London and then said we're in Jamaica. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
felt that they thought through the whole thing from
We
start
would
to
know.
finish.
We
Yeah.
would know as Northerners if you're going to fob us off with shit. Um, we don't have a lot, but
Yeah.
we have the Angel of the North.
You have your
Yeah,
rusty upside down Boeing 747 or whatever it is.
I remember when that was installed, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
I just
What
yeah.
what got me was I know where the Angel of the North is. Dan knows it because when she travels past it, she's on a motorway.
Yeah.
Tell me where that motorway was when you were looking at the Angel of the North, because it wasn't fucking there.
No, it wasn't. Like literally, I was like, what field are they standing in? What way is that looking?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure there's a road there. You know, and you just go,
yeah, yes. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was, I think, because I'd been in that world all day from 28 days later up until this point. It just, and it was great to see. It was great to see evolution of the virus. As opposed to just being stuck in the same time. Like things had changed, and England is now quarantined. It's just completely off the fucking tracks, which kind of reminded us a bit of Doomsday, where where he lowered the border, and yeah, there was something about it I really really enjoyed. Can't wait for Bone
I will
Temple.
say, as with everybody, I got to the end and was like, you've lost me now. That last end scene
Brilliant.
just was so jarring. Not in like a in not in a way like an emotional jarring, you know, where you're like, oh, I can't stand this, it's getting on my nerves. Not that kind
Hmm.
of jarring, but it was so out of place. And why were they Jimmy Saviles? Why? Like,
Well,
why? And I get it's got something to do with like it was the last memory he
we
had of
get because
something and
Well, England has
in
been quarantined for so long, before, bearing in mind he was watching Teletubbies as a kid,
Mhm.
that's what level of television, that's all that they had. So at the time, in this world, we don't know what kind of fucking monster that man actually is.
But don't you think that's a choice by the movie makers? Like, it's
Well,
like, oh,
yeah,
you
it's
really could have picked anyone else.
I know. I
You
think
could have
it
dressed
was
them as fucking Teletubbies. Like,
That would
we
have
could
been
have,
fucking hilarious. Oh
but
my god! If you were looking to shock value is what they were looking for. It's shock
yeah,
value.
I get that.
But
It just pulled me out of the whole movie, that last scene, and I was like, oh, you know,
if
like,
you're gonna
oh, and I
if
don't
you
want to
were
finish
gonna
a film like that.
no, because that scene is quite like, oh shit, because the kid's on his own, and it's like, oh Christ, like has he learned enough skills to be able to get through this, to do this on his own, and then all of a sudden fucking Power Ranger Jimmy Savile comes out of nowhere. But what would have been
Oh,
hilarious if it was Teletubby Jimmy Savile, like Teletubby Power Rangers, as opposed, yeah, I get it, it's shock value, but someone we forgot to mention in Sinners, Jack O'Connell playing the main vampire in Sinners, and also Jimmy Savile. Well, he's not Jimmy Savile, but Jimmy in this. Um, holy shit, is that guy on just the best ride at the minute? Like he was amazing in Sinners,
mhm, really
and he
good.
was. I think he's. I'm intrigued. Bourne Temple has me intrigued, obviously, because of the character that we met through Ralph Fiennes in this movie. But also what the fuck is Jimmy? What the fuck are these, Power Ranger tracksuit loving people? Like, where the fuck did they come from? I'm intrigued. I am. Um, I really wasn't with the next. Actually, I was with the next one. So later on in June, we got a movie I really thought was going to be good. I really did. We got The Ritual. Now, I stopped Dan from watching this because I just couldn't allow her to do it herself. It's not. Don't get me wrong. The Ritual. It's a religious movie. It's about two priests who have. One of them is completely devout in his faith. The other one is kind of like questioning it. Does that sound a little bit familiar to you? It's a fucking Exorcist.
I was gonna say
It.
Father Karras.
Yeah. Could you help no altar boy father? It's so The Exorcist that it had me brought in. You had Dan Stevens in lead role and Al Pacino.
Well, I'm
I'm not
intrigued about it because Al Pacino, like,
Danny was amazing. And I'm not just saying that because the rest of it was everything else around it was shit. What got me was Dan Stevens didn't know if he was English or American. He couldn't
right.
make his mind up. He kept chopping and changing his accent all the time. And I'm not saying it takes you out of it, but if you're up against Al Pacino, you want to fucking bring it. You want to bring your A game, and Dan Stevens dropped the ball. And I love Dan Stevens. He's Matthew in Downton Abbey, for fuck's sake. But there was something so missing. And another thing, the cinematography. Over the last year, all I've done is look at cinematography and look at colours and tones that have been used through it. This was meant to be set in the 1920s. There was nothing fucking ringing out about 1920 rustic aesthetic to me at all. It was clean, it was crisp, there was no dirt to it. Like, this was a church that hadn't even seen a fucking decorator in centuries, and it looked clean as fuck. Though I think I picked this to pieces more because of the similarities of The Exorcist in the character, the two priests. Somebody actually on a review wrote, "This is The Exorcist without being The Exorcist." Like, yeah. I stopped you. I didn't want to for Al Pacino because I wanted you to experience that, but you would have fucking hated it.
See, I love exorcism movies. I went on a huge binge of exorcism movies and found like some really random ones that I absolutely adore to this day. But they have to be done in a way where you're kept in it. You don't necessarily, I'm not a big, like I say, I'm not a big person who has to empathize with the character to understand what's going on or to feel anything through a film. Like, something can happen and yeah, I can feel, but I don't need that to know whether a film's good or not, if you know what I mean. So the fact that you've got acting royalty in that, and I mean, okay, a lot of people disagree with Al Pacino and they say he's not acting royalty. They say he's just a one-note player. But you look at was it the Devil's Advocate he did with Keanu Reeves? Fucking loved him in that.
Send it for woman?
That wasn't
Whoa.
Scarface, was it? Let's have a look. Let's just look at his, his body of work. You've got an actor who has spanned like 60 years. 60 years. And when he's interviewed now, he hates everybody and everything. He is so curmudgeonly. I fucking love it. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
in your 70s, 80s. You've just had a baby again. But,
Each to their own.
at the end of the day, you've earned the right to be a curmudgeonly old fucking in your 70s and 80s. And I'd
Yeah.
say celebrate your curmudgeonliness and be a grumpy old sod and just enjoy it.
Some of the interviews I've seen in him, though, he does come across really lovely, really sweet.
Did you see the puppy one? They gave him a load of
Yes!
puppies, and that is probably my favourite interview ever done with him because he was so happy to see those dogs.
So happy. Yeah, Dan's right. His work, like take Scarface out of the equation. You got Cervical, Scent of a Woman, The Godfather, Godfather Part 2, Godfather Part 3, Donnie Brasco. Like, there's so much, like, the range on this man is unfucking believable. And it's no different in this movie. He is amazing. Remember Russell Crowe playing that the Pope's Exorcist? I thoroughly enjoyed that. Very similar.
Right.
It was just everything else around him just fell apart.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, what we need is Russell Crowe and you working together against the forces of evil. I don't need another priest who is, up against, you've got one priest who's like so devout, then you've got the other one who's questioning things. We don't need to see that dynamic anymore. We could just go and watch The Exorcist for that.
Well, not only that, we as the audience are that other person that's questioning everything. So you
Yeah.
don't always need that the part of the person that plays the audience. Sometimes it's warranted in a to help the film along situation.
Yeah.
but we don't always need it. And if he's there to be his conscience or the audience's viewpoint or the audience's mouthpiece,
Yeah.
then there has to be substance. There has to be more to it. And if they couldn't keep up with Al Pacino, what's that tell you?
Yeah. No, he really could. It just shocks us the level. Like Dan Stevens, he would just think, "Come on, come on, you've done this before. You acted against Maggie Smith. Come on." Um, Leading us into July. I don't know. For me, this has been the year of body horror. And the minute I saw the advertisement for this one, for the next one, I just went, yeah, I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. And I really enjoyed it. It's Together with Dave Franco and Alison Brie.
Now, this film really surprised me
Mm.
in the respect of Dave Franco.
Who knew he could do straight?
Well, this is the thing. He has never given off not serious actor vibes, because that would just give him a disservice, but like
He's never been as pretentious as his brother, let's put it that way.
I don't think that's hard, though, to be honest.
That's
I
true.
think
That
that's
is
the
true.
problem. I think he's been living under the shadow of James for so long, because James was first. James was the one, then James was stupid, and stupid doesn't even cover what James did, allegedly.
James an asshole.
But James fucked up.
Massively.
And then Dave has to share the same surname. So then Dave could pay dividends for shit that he's got absolutely nothing to do with.
Yeah.
So he disappeared off the scene for a long time. I think he was in The Fighter with Christian Bale. I think he was his like little brother or his best mate in that.
I think he's been doing a lot of indie as well, like working a
Yeah.
lot with independent
Well, he's got his
recently.
own production company now,
Yeah.
hasn't he? Him and Alison together, which is what they used to get this movie out, from what I understand.
The promo for this was just unreal. Watching them two was lovely. It really did help amp the hype up for
But
this
they're
movie.
married in real life, aren't they? So
They are. And they're adorable.
I've got to say, I liked this film, but
I'm interested about what you thought at the end, because you said you weren't.
I think for me, this pulled out some of the most bizarre use of CGI, but in a good way, like the hands under the skin, the melding, and all that sort of thing, and how realistic that was. Even the eyeball to eyeball, even the. Do you know what I mean? All of that until that very last closing scene where they pan out from them becoming one, right? And that song, Too Obvious. Why are you using the Spice Girls to become one? That's just like saying the audience are thick, so we're just going to reinforce it with a song just to tell you what we're doing.
I think it was a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. I honestly thought it was like, let's make a little joke out of it.
But the CGI, the budget had gone.
You just took it out of you could tell there was a clear difference, especially from what you had just seen, when they were outside and they were trying to stop them from getting like stopped, and then she was almost saying, no, this needs to happen. You could clearly see a clear shift in
the CGI. It's like they run out of money to get it polished to that level that you'd been seeing up until that point, and that CGI, it just looks so poor. And I was like, okay, no, I know I can't make that kind of level of CGI. You get a stick man on paint off of me, you know what I mean? But like
my favorite one of yours is oh my god, the Brussels sprout you did.
I'm not well versed in CGI, or I just watch. I live vicariously through the Corridor Crew, and they even said about this when they did the review on it, and they were like, everything about this is absolutely stunning until that last shot where you just look at it and you go, oh, that's that they. You've been leading up to this moment for the entire film, and then it just kind of lost the magic because it didn't give off that element of like not realness, because it would never really happen.
It's never but I know what you mean, because you've seen some great cinematography, some great use of CGI. I don't know if I was just so taken aback that not one, I've getting through another body horror, but two, I'm starting to enjoy this. I'm starting to get why body horror is a much loved genre in horror. Um, I was so taken in with this. I totally got their relationship. I love the fact I loved the backstory as well. It wasn't overcomplicated. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, there wasn't
Um,
too much. You didn't need exposition.
no,
Knew
no,
that they were moving from the city. He'd had a rough ride, and they were starting a new life because she got a new job. It's as simple as that. You
and
didn't need more than that.
but he was it was the whole him not being able to move forward, kind of stuck in the moment, which then backfires on him. But watching Dave Franco play this straight, play this. I mean, he had his funny moments,
Mm.
but it's not overly hilarious. Like I'm looking at Dave Franco and going, "Where's the kid from 21 Jump Street? Where's the Bad Neighbors?" Like, and to see him be something completely different and go, "Shit, you trouse your brother so much in every element." I am so pleased that you can come out on top because I would hate the fact that Franco did that.
I'm going to say something now. They wrote the character so well that I hated her. I detested her. She was so manipulative way before it got to the end where they had that thing where they needed to be with each other all the time.
Hmm.
She was a horrible character,
Yeah.
like a horrible person. Like I was like, oh, why? Why are you doing this? And then they start explaining about his family, and I'm like, ah, because you're scared to lose someone else.
Yeah.
That's why you're with her. And then it clicks, and you're like, right, got it, okay. And
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really, really
yeah,
did.
really well written,
Really
really
well
well
written.
acted.
Hmm.
The CGI is creepily good up until that last sort of pan out shot. Like I said, maybe no longer than maybe 5 to 10 seconds, but you catch it. Like I caught it, and I was just like, oh, I was expecting
Grand.
just
Something.
something, and that's not
Something.
what I got. So
Well, the next one. The next one is I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now,
yeah.
when I watched this, I messaged Dan and I was like, "It's all right, it's not bad." And she just messaged back going, "What the fuck have I just watched?" I
I
didn't
did.
I didn't mind it.
No, go on. You tell people because like mine is just hate-filled rage. So.
I think I watched the first out of the two of us, and I only watched it because people were starting to ruin it already.
Mhm,
The Helen Shiver thing, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
mhm.
So I didn't mind it. I thought I'm not stupid. I didn't get who the killer was. Now, bearing in mind, my husband has not actually seen this. Figured it out in 2 seconds. Um, I didn't see that coming. I was on a bit of I enjoyed the ride. It was okay. I
I
didn't
just
mind.
think this is an entry we didn't need.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I think the original movie was great in the sense of it. I suppose this is a slasher. I don't know if it is because it's a hook. So usually slashers are
Basically,
it's a knife. Um, this is kind of like a urban legend kind of thing because they do
I think
the hook hand thing is an urban legend thing.
hmm
Um, do we need a third installment when the second was as interesting as it was? No.
No.
Um, the third,
No.
yes, we know they're all grown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Freddie Prinze Jr. as a human, not as an
No.
actor.
No.
But
That's a whole different.
he's got an incredibly strange, egotistical vibe about him on his podcasts.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't come across great.
yeah, I don't know whether it's communication because I can't see Sarah Michelle Gellar being with somebody.
When she is like the sweetest person ever. If you see her on
Exactly.
our socials, she comes across great. He, on the other hand, just comes across as an angry nerd.
Yeah, so it's like he really is one of those ones that gets on his soapbox about something, and I'm just like, you're reviewing your own movies.
Yeah.
Please, just the ego
He's
needs to come down a peg or two.
he's the type of person who would send me a 4-page letter on how I was wrong on something. Like that's
Yeah.
the type of person I see him being. I just there was just something about it. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was the day and I was having a good day, and I don't know if I watched it again, I probably would have different feelings on it. I just wanted to I wanted to see the Helen Schiffer bit. That's all I wanted to watch it for.
I think that worked. I don't like the fact that they decided to do what they did with the killer, because I feel like, why?
Yeah.
Why? It didn't really, it was like 1 and 1 makes 6, but we'll subtract 5 and then we'll call it 2. Do you know what I mean? It just didn't quite,
Hit.
it was like, I
Not
don't
hit, but
know.
missed completely.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can see where they were going, and again, I can understand that they were going for a nostalgia. Right, we've had this, it's been 30-ish years since the first one come out. Let's give them another one. People want it, and we were like, do we? Okay,
Did we
we've
ask
got it
for it?
now.
The thing is though, the thing is Scream's opened the door up for legacy movies like this to give it a try.
Yeah, I
Was
mean,
it Scream or Halloween? It depends on how you want to look at it, but that style of movie, like bringing these legacy character back, has the doors been opened.
mhm. I mean,
So
effort, points for effort. It didn't land for me. I didn't need it in my
I
repertoire.
won't
I
watch it
loved the
again.
first film, Anne Hesh being a crazy fishmonger in a garden, killing the roadkill. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That for me is the pinnacle of all three. That first movie, because it was so stupid slash.
Slash.
It was just interesting. It was
What
just
are
an
you
interesting.
waiting for? It just reminds a scary movie. What am I waiting for?
Yeah, I will say she wins hands down for me.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Anth prefers I know what you did last summer to Scream. Doesn't see the hype with Scream at all.
The second one with Jack Black with the dreadlocks and the bad Jamaican accent, I can't help but love it for the fact it's so bad.
Yeah.
Brandy and
Is
uh,
it Reggie? No.
no, it's Mika Pfeiffer, I think.
Oh, that's right, yes.
You'll have to bear with me. I do apologize if I got his name wrong. That is because I don't have it in front of me, and this is just coming out of my arse. But he is actually at April's For the Love of Horror as well.
Oh, yes, he is.
You've got Jack Black, you've got Freddie Prinze Jr., you've got Jennifer Love Hewitt, you've got Brandy or
Brandy.
Brandy.
Brandy? No, Moesha. She was Brandy, right?
Oh, I get so confused. She was the one who was Cinderella in the Whitney Houston.
Brandy. That's
Yeah.
Brandy. Brandy Norwood. Whoa. Okay.
Well, I was going to come up with a useless fact about Jennifer Love Hewitt. Then I was going to say, well, she got her start in the movie Sister Act 2.
She did.
Yeah, you know when you're just like, why do I know this shit?
The amount of shit that woman got through this press tour. Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, she was too fat.
Oh
Then she
yeah,
had
she
too
fucking
much.
looked it.
Then she's had too much facial surgery done. And then I love the fact she was manipulating on all of her videos.
Hmm.
Did you see she went through a phase of making her lips look really big and
Yeah,
making she had surgery and then like making her eyes look different? And
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. I like the
But
fact you got a sense of humor there. She did a TV show called Sugarland, right? And I
yeah,
don't know if anybody watched Sugarland. She worked in a it was like a brothel, but it
I
wasn't.
knew you were going to say a brothel.
Yeah, it was like it started out as a massage parlor and she needed some money, so she was going through this thing, her husband left her, all this sort of stuff, so she needed to make money and make it fast. So they said, right, come and be a masseuse in this thing, and she thought it was kosher, and it ends up being like a happy ending kind of massage parlor, and she ends up making so much money. And I actually really enjoyed it, and I think it only got like maybe a season or two, and then it got the heave ho, and I was just like, why is it that happens with her, except for Ghost Whisperer. That went on for 14 years or
It
something
went on
insane.
too fucking long.
Yeah.
um, yeah. God bless you, Jennifer Love Hewitt, because I think you're absolutely beautiful and could not understand the internet. Fuck the internet. Fuck them. Um, the next one.
Yep.
Summer movie of the summer blockbuster. Would you class it? This movie had so much hype around it. you could not go and watch it. You had to go and see what everyone was talking about, and we are talking about weapons. Weapons.
I loved I
I
I
loved it.
loved parts of this film.
Yeah, I've seen it twice now. I watched it on release, and then I watched it with Anth. Halloween. We watched it at Halloween, and yeah, I get what you mean by that.
I didn't hate parts by any circumstance. For me, this film felt like you didn't need the story point of 5 people. I think there's 5 different stories that run from start to finish. You've got Josh Brolin, you've got the teacher, you've got the policeman, you've got the head teacher, which is Benedict Wong. Then you've got and then you've got actual Gladys and the kid story, I think. And that's 5 stories sort of interwoven.
You need Gladys. That's
Yeah,
for damn
Gladys,
sure.
yeah.
The policeman. Now, did we need? I don't know. The policeman, I'm a bit torn on.
He didn't really do anything that where just
It's Han Solo.
Yeah, he was having an affair with the teacher woman whose entire class just disappeared, so they all blamed her, and it's like, okay, but the only person that was left was this little kid, and so the whole town blames her. She was seeing a married policeman, then so you have that story, and then she's
but that
in.
doesn't have anything to do with anything else. Like
Exactly.
Just,
yeah, and
you could have taken that out and it'd been fine.
I get that, and like the only real relevance of the teacher for me was her being drunk in the car and then Gladys sneaking in and cutting her hair off. That was like or the kid sneaking in. I can't remember who did it, like who took her hair when she was asleep in the car. And the film is a weird film until you get to the explanation of what the hell's going on, and it turns out to be, in my opinion, another kind of fairy tale film.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, it is kind of like, it's a fairy tale in that she needs them to stay young.
Yeah, they're sucking the life out of them.
It's hocus pocus for a new generation.
Fucking right, is it? With a horror icon we did not know we fucking needed.
Love Gladys. I love Gladys.
The minute Anne saw it, he went, "Oh my god, why am I getting long legs feels?" And I was like, "Holy shit, hold on to that thought. I'll get right back to you."
Yeah. I think they done such an amazing job with her, and the fact that they made that wig look like a wig, you knew it was a wig. You knew her makeup was horrific. Just the look of her was unsettling. You knew something was off from the second you saw her, but you didn't know, was she an old eccentric lady?
Yeah, because she's like what I aspire to look like in the nursing home. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to be
look. The look I'm thinking of in the nursing home is her.
I want to scare people when I'm walking through the underpass,
Like that whole eccentric fashion where, because she was able to pull an outfit together. She looked well put together. Even if her hair and makeup were a bit, the outfit was there. Yeah, there was something so intriguing about her. But the minute Antha clocked the long legs thing, I was like, you've got no fucking idea how many people want these two together.
Yeah, I mean, the story from the kids' viewpoint for me was the best bit. Like all the others, okay, they gave you little bits of exposition to get you where you needed to go, but when you finally got the kids' story that was interwoven with Gladys's, it was like,
it was so good.
That was horrific.
So good.
And to see that kid just disappearing, not physically, but just as the happy child he was, to like just retreating into himself because of the things he was having to do.
And he was so clever, so clever to kind of learn and adapt, survive. Because I fucking couldn't have. At 42, there's no way I would have thought exactly how that kid did.
Just to watch that.
I don't have survival instinct in us.
But it was just to watch what she did and then to recreate it. I thought it was just exceptionally clever, and turn it back.
But us to see it as well and not know that, how the fuck's he learned that? Do you know, we watched him. We watched him go through that, everything he did up until that point. Yeah. So it all made sense. I love the time they spent with Gladys and the kid. That was the right amount of time.
I think Julia was a face, the Silver Surfer lady, and Josh Brolin were there purely to put names on posters. Benedict
I,
Wong as
I,
well.
no, I wouldn't be surprised
And that's
because
not a disservice to their
no,
acting abilities. It just, I don't know, I felt like it was far too long and drawn out in places about people that we really don't need
yeah,
in the story. Like you say, I think they could have ditched the policeman
yeah,
wholeheartedly. That was,
definitely could have ditched the policeman. There was, if you took him out, would have made no difference to the story.
I mean,
I
don't
don't
get me
mind the.
wrong, Han Solo's very attractive, but
Oh yeah, yeah. And the thing is, Josh Brolin, I'm not mad at the fact that he was in there. I think the idea of watching the parents in there and what that one that there's always that one
yeah.
who the obsession comes in, and they're just the refusal of not allow to allow himself to think. Well, he's just gone. I'm not going to think like that.
Mhm.
I really like that look. The teacher, I'm I really like her. I hate the fact that she's that bloody con artist on the Netflix TV show
Yeah.
because I hate her voice.
The
um,
German, she played the German aristocratic or it girl
con
that
artist.
no money whatsoever.
Yeah, it's the way she talks. My daddy, it's the way she talks.
She was
Um,
also in Ozarks with
yes,
Bateman, yeah.
yes. Um, weapons. I would love to do an episode on that just to have a bit more of a deep dive in it, and especially Gladdy at some point. But the next one is one of my oh my god, my favorite movies are changing all the time because this was my favorite movie of the year. And then Frankenstein came along and then Trousted did, but and then I've just said about Bring Her Back and The Ugliest Stepsister. The list is getting muddy, but yes, this is my favorite film. One of my favorite films of the year. Second favorite film of the year is The Long Walk. I've seen this movie more times than what I should have by now. It's I've never I've never felt that I'm more like getting to the end of the film and not being able to breathe because I can't stop crying and I am screaming at the television for what I know is about to happen, even though I didn't see the ending coming. I've read the book now. I hadn't when I'd seen the movie. I'm gonna put it out there, and you might not like this. I actually like the movie compared to the book. Um, I think they both have their own bits, their own places. But for me, the relationships between McFrey and Ray is beautiful. It's just it was beautiful to watch, and I didn't want to leave them too. Just them, actually, the whole Musketeers. I didn't want to leave them. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, I was an emotional wreck after this.
For me, it was the surprising, like when you first watch this movie at the beginning, you don't know why they're all there. You can't work out what this is for or why she's getting so emotional over it. And it's like the way she's saying goodbye to him, you're like, well, he'll come back. He's only going on a walk. Like you don't understand
No, you don't
the
compute.
weight of what this competition is. You don't understand what they're all doing
No, and
or why they're there.
well, the most frustrating part in the book is so, and it's the same with this. It's the same with the movie. It's optional. They
Hmm.
don't have to be there. They even have an opportunity to bow out. This
Hmm.
is something they want to do, and they know the risks going into it. They have watched multiple ones beforehand. It's very Hunger Game esque when it comes down to the fact that it's using this level of violence and this level of the determination of somebody in order to get a nation behind them. And this is a TV show.
Hmm.
You do say I did have to point out a few times to Ant that the what do you call them? The tanks are
Cameras.
the cameras. But it is they talked about throughout the TV show is talked about through the book. But they don't have to be there. They chose to be there. So when you get them being angry, it's like who are you angry at here? Yourself? Or the actual fact that this exists in the first place. But you chose to do this walk. You knew
That's
the risks.
with any Stephen King, I mean, I know people say he's the horror icon, but really,
Oh,
when you look down at every single one of his movies, even books, should I say, they're all based on human choice.
hmm
They're all based on human interaction that have led to this fantastical thing that
yeah.
happened. And with this one, this reminds me of like the same way of like Stand By Me or his more grounded books that don't have a supernatural element to
hmm
them. They are, it's something that could happen. It probably
Yeah.
won't in my lifetime,
No,
but
but it's
could.
human, but it's also human condition as well. And it's look at Collie Parker. He's so fucking angry. He's so angry at the whole thing. But he signed that. He signed that contract. He had the opportunity 2 days beforehand to bow out. You actually, when you get to the post before you go to the drop off, you have another opportunity. You have opportunity after opportunity. I could never understand, and again, this is down to human condition, why he was so pissed off.
The thing is, some of them saw it as it was a lottery system that got them all there. But then they were, as soon as they hit 18, they qualified, if I'm right. And
But
then,
it's an application. They have to
yeah,
apply for it.
and then it's a lottery system based on the applications,
hmm
which there is a prize to have that one
Oh,
wish of whatever you want becomes yours
hmm
if you are last man standing.
yeah.
And it wasn't until the first person went down that I actually understood the gravity of last man standing, because I just thought it was people just dropping out. I was like, okay, where's this going to go? Because if someone just falls down of exhaustion, do you know what I mean? You're like, okay. But I did not expect the level of
Yeah. So
not violence, because it wasn't a violent film, so to speak, but it was just the shock that these were kids, even though
yeah,
they were supposed to be 18. It was a shock for them to just 1 minute they're
gone.
1 minute they're not. Do
Did
you
you
know what
notice who? Did you notice who the first kill was?
it's? I've only seen it once and I saw it when it came out, so I can't really
It's
remember.
Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, was it? Right.
Yeah,
Like the
took
little
me.
lad with the shoe.
Yeah,
It's right. Or
he had
crab.
a he kept called the Charlie horse, which is something.
Yeah.
This.
It's where you're at. You know when you get in the back of your calf where it
Oh yeah,
cramps up
tenses.
and both sides pinch in on the back muscle,
Yep.
and it's like when someone grabs your muscle like that. That's what Charlie Horse is.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's what I've been told it is. Whether that is what it is, I don't know. But that's what I've been told it is.
I got a funny story to tell you about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the kid who played Jojo Rabbit. Yeah, the brutality of the kills when they happen is a good punch because we the rules have laid out simple to you. You got to walk over 3 miles per hour. You got to keep at a certain speed. You can't drop it. You can't go above it. You've got to keep to that speed. Now they did decrease it because it was 5
Mhm.
in the book. So Stephen King was happy with the decrease. Stephen King loved the ending. The ending to the movie and the book are two completely different things, but also the characters are very different as well. I was explaining to Dan earlier that the amalgamation of there's 100 boys in the book. There's only 50 in the movie, and a lot of characters amalgamated into other characters as one. So the ending made sense, especially the relationship that had been built in the movie between McFree and Ray. There was so much there was so much more at stake. You really in the book are just with Ray, and it's you're only bothered that Ray gets out. So
Mhm.
I didn't care that there was any change to it. Like I say, I've seen this movie more times than I probably should have by now. And every time I think about it, I just want to go back and watch it. I just want to be back with them too. I loved it. And then we've got The Conjuring: The Last Rites comes out in September as well. And I feel at this point, if you want to know about our thoughts and feelings on it, just go and watch our episode.
Yeah, our episode with Zara. I mean, they had an opportunity, and in my opinion, they shit the bed a bit on this one.
He did. I'm actually more interested to know about the next one to finish this off.
Yeah.
In October, we got a sports hybrid movie I was so intrigued by. has the name Jordan Peele attached to it. However, let's make this very clear. Jordan had nothing to do with this. His name is just part of the production company.
Mhm.
Him.
Monkey Paw, isn't it, or whatever it's called?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
this
intrigued.
I feel about this the exact way I felt about Together. Fantastic. Absolutely had me gripped. I was so happy I was watching something really different,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved the parallels. And then we got to that last scene and it just become ridiculous.
That's what I loved about it, though.
But it was I'm not it's so jarring to the level that you get this tone all the way through,
Mm-hmm.
where it's building up and building up to that final showdown between the two of them in the gladiators, like they base
Yeah,
it on the whole gladiator thing, right? And then they get to that whole indoctrination, sign the contract situation, and I'm like,
yeah.
everything you've ever wanted. Everything you've ever wanted. Like, you got this far because you wanted this. You've
Mm-hmm.
just done what you did to get here, and they're threatening to kill your family if you don't sign it.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're a crazed mass murderer and you're going to take the world down in
Yeah,
just
I
a snap of
loved
my
it.
fingers. I'm like, what? You don't even see him switch though. That's the thing. If they built it to a point of where you were what you were watching him
You saw
mentally
that gradual
break,
build up, yeah.
I could have understood it then. I think
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, makes sense. I think the minute they said they were going to kill my family and you watch him just snap, then that for me would have made sense. But that ending had more laugh, like tongue in cheek, like
Mm.
the way the kills were done, the way Julia Fox got killed. Oh, Uncut Gems. Julia Fox, absolutely love the fact she took the piss out of herself in this film.
Yes,
I want to say
massively.
I didn't have her down as someone who's got a sense of humor, but she really leaned into that in this
Yeah.
film.
It
Marlon
was,
Wayans,
oh, watching him play Unhinged, I didn't know how to take it.
loved it. I
Did
loved it.
you?
I am so used to, he's been a staple in my household growing up
Forever.
forever as being the funny man. If it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in Living Colour, it was in scary movies. And
Don't
then,
be a menace.
do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we get from
Yeah.
Wayne's. And then we get this. And it's like he played psychotic, deranged. Like when that guy was getting hit by a 200-mile-an-hour ball in the
Oh my
face
God. Yeah.
repeatedly. And then he just falls on the floor and he says it's been a privilege, falls on the floor. And then something happened with another lad and he just falls on the floor as well. And like, he's like going, help him, help him. And then he starts just completely not acknowledging the fact
Mm-hmm.
that that person's there and they're dying.
But
It's just,
also having like he's fully aware of everything that's going on around him, but then can like close himself off and just go into this little bubble. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. It was just something to get used to because again, you're right. He's only ever been the funny man to me. I've not seen Requiem for a Dream.
mm,
So I know he plays, I think it's quite a serious part in that. And I've only ever seen him in comedies. So it was such a surprise. I really loved the main guy. He was in I Know What You Did Last Summer. He played the part of
he's the
teenager
he's the
rags to
jock.
riches kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that whole that football spirit, community, family. He really had that like lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that one family that are really obsessed with one type of sport, be it football, be it rugby, be it golf, be it,
Yeah,
and they've trained their kid from birth to
yeah.
do this one thing that they've always wanted to do but couldn't, so they've
So
pushed
they're
it
gonna
upon
force
the
it on the
child.
kids. Yeah,
And the child, they sacrifice everything. The child sacrifices everything, like doesn't have a childhood because the parents are so incessant and like on this child to do the one thing that they want it to do, and to indoctrinate this child into the sport like it is a church. And it was kind of like the allegory that you were seeing running through it, because even he turns around and says like Marlon Wayans turns around and says to the kid, it's football, family, God.
Mhm.
And he goes, oh, the standard saying is God, family, football. He said, no, it's the other way around for me. And
Yeah.
it's like, when you find out the payoff at the end, because I don't want to spoil this too much because it is relatively new
It,
film. It's
it,
only
it is. It is.
about a month and a half.
And I would like everyone to go and watch it to give it a chance because we don't get a lot of horror like horror hybrids. Like we don't get that a lot. And this year, if anything, it's been the year of different,
Yeah.
of something new. And I feel like this is quite. I could be wrong, but I just feel like this is really refreshing.
Yeah.
But I needed someone else to watch it to get on my level to go like just to know. It was so bizarre. I couldn't describe it to people because I was like, I don't know what I am describing.
Yeah, I think that I'm not saying the end was bad, right? I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. There was a righting the wrongs, a whole justification,
Hmm.
yay, I'm the winner kind of situation. Um, but like I say, you go from this tone and it has this hum, and I can't explain it any other way. This film has a hum about it all the way through. It has this little just this noise, like this hum, this underlying sort of thing that you can't
Edge.
quite shake, and then it gets that end, and it's like, vroom, and it stops.
You were very on edge throughout the whole. I
Mhm.
was anyway. I was because I just didn't. It was so unpredictable. I didn't know where it was going or what the fuck was going to happen.
And
But when
why
you
was
got
it
to the,
acting like that? It's
I
just like,
know the sauna room with a woman in
mm.
it. What the fuck?
You know who the woman was?
No,
That's Pepper from American Horror Story.
shut the fuck up.
No, that is
Ah,
Pepper.
the fuck would they? Why were they in there to start with?
I don't understand how they snuck into the compound, but I think he let her in. I think it was a test,
Yeah,
like
possibly.
to see what he would do.
It
Uh,
was it was
yeah.
just so intriguing. And the contrasting color from training ground into the ending
Mhm.
was some breathtakingly beautiful cinematography.
All the dark and muted colors, but not to a point of
Reds.
where it was not to a point of where it was like
It wasn't dreary. It
yeah,
was
not and it wasn't like depressing or grimdarky. It was
mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
literally just dark because they were in this weird concrete compound.
Yeah.
So
And then getting out into the open and that white, how white that white was,
mm.
and yeah, especially against the color of red.
So
It was a great contrast.
would you call this a supernatural movie?
It had supernatural feels to it, but it was very psychological.
Yeah. So right, so we're looking at the year.
Mm-hmm.
Got slasher, horror comedy, vampires, fairy tales, psychological supernatural. We've got Final Destination. So we've got Gore Fest slash
Mm-hmm.
franchise. Then we've got 28 Years Later, which is more of a apocalyptic horror. But
Mm.
I know it's part of a franchise, but it's been so long between the three coming out,
Yeah,
it doesn't feel franchisey.
there
Uh,
needs to be more consistent, and then we
the
might get
ritual we're going with
shit.
supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously it's exorcism. Together's body horror. I
Mm-hmm.
know what you did last summer, obviously franchise, and we'll go with slasher just because hook. Um, weapons, which was witchcraft slash supernatural again,
Mm-hmm.
slash fairy tale, I would say, and then the long walk, which was just pure psychological horror. It was more.
It was psychological warfare, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just more of the human condition and what
Yeah,
humans are capable of,
human nature.
and
Yeah.
it was, yeah. And then you've got The Conjuring, which is, I don't even know, franchise nonsense. And then you're looking at him, which is sports, psychological witchcrafty,
Yeah.
supernatural. So yeah, I mean,
What a
which
mixed
ones of those would you recommend? Like, say, what three of those would you recommend people go out and see if they haven't seen them?
Definitely Ugly Stepsister. I feel like everyone needs to experience that. It's such a beautiful movie. Um, some important like the tone, the themes, the plot, the gore, the level of body horror, because it's not all just boom, boom,
Mm.
grotesque, grotesque, grotesque. There's a lot of story in there. So definitely Ugly Stepsister. Um, I've bring her back. I've the level of I've never felt so like so much conflict in a movie before. And again, it's not just all about body horror. And that's what I'm really see. This is what I've been loving is when I've been exploring these body horror movies. It's not just it is for his sake.
Mhm.
This is there's something else behind it. And I'm gonna Long Walk. I've already said my three throughout the Long Walk. I can't dip away from them. But then you've got Sinners as well, and like it's a hard one between the Long Walk and Sinners because yeah. Go on. What about you?
I think I'm going to go with definitely The Ugly Stepsister because I feel like Sinners and the movies with bigger name actors that everybody
Hmm.
knows, they would have possibly had the chance to see by now.
Yeah.
The Ugly Stepsisters is on Shudder. If you have it,
Mm.
that's where I watched it. I will go with that one because it was such a surprise.
It really was.
Um, then I'm going to go with Together because 99% of that film was so well done.
Hmm.
And for me to actually physically hate a character to the point of where I wanted to throw something at the television because I didn't like her at all.
Fuck you,
And
Alison Brie.
and then the just the pure like because she's a manipulative person in this, but
Yeah.
and then just watching the way it comes to the last, like I say, it's just that last shot that I
Yeah.
hate, but um I think the whole tone of the film is so refreshing
I'm so
that
glad you liked it.
yeah, and then I'm gonna go with him. And I tell you
Wow.
because I mean there's a lots of film on here, but out of the list I feel like him you didn't see get a big
No.
fanfare. And I do feel like Marlon deserves people to go watch it
Yeah.
because it's so far out of what left that we just don't see that side of him. And I feel like he done an amazing job. And I want people to see that, to know
Yeah.
that he's not just the goofy little character in
I
like
can't
in the
think of what his name is in
2000
Scary
D&D
Movie.
movie. He's not the guy in Scary Movie that's shit son. He's more than that. He's and
Yeah.
this proved
Yeah.
that he
100.
is more than that.
100, yeah, 100%. I'm not saying I couldn't get behind the unhinged part. It
Mm.
just took a lot because, again, I'm just so used to the sad part about this movie. You are right, it hasn't got the love that it should have. They really had to push Jordan Peele's name a lot to try even get this, like, kind of on the radar. They didn't need to. They should have relied upon the fact that Marlon Wayans could carry this movie. He carried this movie.
Oh, 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know the name of the younger
It's
actor.
Tariq Quivers, I think. And
Um,
honestly, I enjoyed him and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I enjoyed him in this as well.
he did an amazing job. He
He
really
did.
did. He played the part really, really well. But Marlon stood out for me. And
Hmm.
I genuinely think that I'm not saying it's the best film I've ever seen,
No,
and
no,
I'm
but
not saying it's the best
there's
film in
something
this
there.
lineup because there's much better films there.
Hmm.
But I like the three I've picked are three that I feel like people might have just let slip because
Yeah,
they didn't have big releases or they weren't as
yeah.
they just weren't as well known as the others. So I am in agreement with The Ugly Stepsister. That's on
Hmm.
Shudder. I think Together has just finished in the cinema, so maybe out on Amazon Home
It'll be on
release. So you
digital
won't be,
soon.
yeah, and then same with him. I think they're both on
Him
the
only came out in,
pay-per-view.
yeah, him only came out in October, but it might get an early digital release.
It only
But
takes a month or two these days.
it's crazy.
On
It's
there,
crazy.
yeah.
We used to have to fucking wait 6 months to a year to get anything.
Mm.
Anything. Um, so yeah, that's been horror of. It's not been the entirety of horror of 2025. It's just been the movies that we have picked for the horror of 2025. Um, it's been such a crazy great year.
Mm.
I can't believe this is our last episode of the year. But you know what? We've got so much that so many ideas that we're gonna map out for next year. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to have a little break, gather our thoughts, and then move on with next year.
Got a plan together.
Yeah.
And then bamboozle you all without bullshit next year.
Fucking right. So there won't be a new episode out next week.
No.
But what will they be, Dan?
Well, I'm in two minds whether to tell them or not.
Oh, okay.
Because I think maybe I want to keep them guessing.
Okay. You run the show.
Yeah, don't tell me that. My ego will get. I won't be able to fit in through the door.
Well,
let me tell you. I have a podcast, don't you know? Yeah, I just who doesn't? I
3.
Yeah, I think we'll keep it a secret
Okay.
because
Okay.
I feel like a
can use it for
little
the
surprise.
Okay. We do have a little surprise coming for you, but you have to go and check out our social medias for that.
Yeah, and it'll be on audio only. Must
Yes,
stress
it's
that
got
we will not be on YouTube for
No.
the next couple of weeks till we come back, and we'll tell you when we're coming back on the socials.
Yeah, that's right. So our presence will be more social media for the next few weeks. But this episode is available on the Nerdy Up North YouTube channel for you to watch. Our episodes premieres every Monday from 10 o'clock in the morning. The links for Bleeding Marvelous, Monsters Up North, and Nerdy Up North are where, Dan?
Down there.
If you do want to go and follow our socials, just to say they are Monsters Up North podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We have a Facebook page set up now. There is also Bleeding Marvelous, and the Nerdy Up North page as well, which has got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I think that's it. It's been a long one again, but never mind. It is the last one. So again, thank you so much for everything in 2025. And if there's nothing else left to say goodbye, Dan.
For just £2 a month, you can support a small business at Christmas. Please buy some shit. Thanks. Bye.
Stay spooky, everyone. Bye. Bye.